I feel like it'll be a little entertaining. I don't know how long he's gonna last him with these big shots coming at him, but hey, only time will tell. You know, I'm not here to hype that shit up. Yeah. That's not even my business. That's somebody else fish to fry.
Yeah.
You know, I got my own fish to fry.
Jermell Charlo, who's fought Canelo in the ring, isn't buying the hype surrounding the Crawford bout. With his first-hand experience, Charlo's blunt opinion suggests Crawford might not last long against Canelo's punishing shots. Charlo's words grow even more intense as he explains what it felt like to face Canelo at his peak. He said, "Canelo's a mother beast. Maybe I felt that more because it was my first time at this weight division." For Charlo, moving up a weight class and fighting Canelo was a harsh wake-up call. Now with Crawford stepping up to challenge Canelo, the stakes are higher than ever. Charlo's warning carries weight, hinting that Crawford might be entering a fight tougher than he expects. With Canelo's dominance in this division, it's hard to ignore the danger signs. Crawford's speed and skill will be tested in ways he's never faced before. Caleb Plant, another fighter who shared the ring with Canelo, gives a chilling view of how hard the Mexican champion hits.
You know, it's like the first punch he's going to hit you with, you know, your ribs are going to explode and da-da-da-da-da, and it's like...
Plant's time against Canelo left a permanent mark, especially on his body. He describes that power in a way that leaves no doubt. Canelo's punches are something you feel deep in your bones. It's not just the strength, but the accuracy with which he lands his shots that makes it feel like you're in another league. For Crawford, jumping in weight to fight Canelo, this could mean an entirely new level of pain. As Plant explains, it's not just about being tough, it's about surviving the storm once those punches land. Amir Khan, who's also been in the ring with Canelo, weighs in on Crawford's decision to move up and face the champion.
Yeah, I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Khan's warning echoes what many who faced Canelo's power have felt firsthand. Despite respecting Crawford, Khan is clear. Taking on Canelo might be a dangerous risk for the welterweight title holder. The physical toll of fighting someone as strong as Canelo is something Crawford may not be ready for, especially when moving up in weight. Khan's advice is one to take seriously. Canelo's shots have left lasting damage on veteran fighters. For Crawford, this fight might be more than just a challenge. It could become a battle for survival. Tim Bradley, always frank in his breakdowns, presents a compelling case on why Crawford may struggle with Canelo's size and power.
Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter, period. He is. Rather you have him as the greatest or just great, he's a great fighter. And he's gonna go down in Mexican history, in the history of boxing, as one of the greatest fighters, period, of this generation, period, whether you like it or not.
Bradley acknowledges Crawford's outstanding boxing IQ, but identifies the real hurdle, the size gap. Canelo's punching power and ability to close range could overwhelm Crawford if he can't keep him away. The physical toll of absorbing Canelo's shots is a huge factor that may decide the outcome. While Crawford excels at setting traps and exploiting openings, there's no promise that skill alone can defeat someone as relentless as Canelo. Bradley's analysis raises a crucial question. Can Crawford handle the damage if he fails to stop Canelo's momentum? Bradley also credits Crawford's boldness to chase greatness by taking on Canelo. But there's a catch: size matters.
Like, we know Canelo can be outboxed, or at least I know. The fans don't believe that. I know you don't believe anything I say. I get it. It's all right. He can be outboxed, but the size difference is what's scary about that fight. You know, if Crawford can't hurt him, if Crawford can't stop him from coming forward, and Crawford's great at exposing high guards. He knows how to come underneath and come around it. You know, he knows how to set traps for his opponents, and I think he'll be able to lay a lot of traps for Canelo. I think he'll give him a lot more issues and problems than Charlo, no doubt about it, because of the mentality, and he would come to win. But I just wonder, one, can he take Canelo's punch? You know, and can he stay away from Canelo's punch? And can he absorb the punishment that he's going to get and have to go through because Canelo will close the distance on him, and Canelo will hit him and will pound on him. Now, Crawford, I think, has the skills, but again, I mean, the size, man. That size it's weight classes are there for a reason, man.
Bradley feels Crawford has the skill set to outbox Canelo on even terms. However, the weight difference adds an entirely new challenge that can't be dismissed. Crawford's quickness, precision, and ring IQ might be his top assets. But Canelo's size and power could control the fight. It's obvious that Bradley sees Crawford's leap as a daring move, but the sheer physicality of Canelo could hinder his chances. Even with his talent, Crawford might face an uphill battle he's never experienced before. Tim Bradley doesn't hesitate to show his admiration for Canelo, giving him full credit as one of this era's greatest fighters.
Crawford definitely would dare to be great. I think he has the skill set to beat a Canelo. If they were the same size, pound for pound, Crawford's skill set is better, all right, than Canelo's, in my opinion. Okay, now they're not the same size, and that's where the difficulty comes. Okay, all right, but I think that's daring right there to be great for Crawford, because again, his skill set outmatches Canelo.
Bradley's admiration for Canelo speaks volumes about the Mexican star's place in boxing. His capacity to dominate across divisions and adjust his style makes him an undeniable force in the sport. Canelo's status as one of the best is secure regardless of opinion. Bradley's insight underlines how tough it is for any fighter, including Crawford, to deal with Canelo's blend of power, skill, and experience. Bradley clearly views Canelo's greatness as a hurdle Crawford must face in a fight that could define both of their careers. Even before the bout was officially announced, Roy Jones Jr. was already sounding the alarm, delivering a stern warning to Terence Crawford about the dangers of taking on Canelo.
What about him and Crawford?
I was highly impressed by his performance.
Yeah, what about him and Crawford?
About the power he showed. You know, he fought the proper fight for the proper opponent. When you fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, you're supposed to bully him. He fought Floyd Mayweather that way back in the day. We saw a much better fight. But he did. But he's learned now, and that shows you that he's improved, and he understands boxing more now. Because he bullied the smaller guy, which is what you're supposed to do. What you say?
What about Crawford, Roy?
Crawford still, I think he's a little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shot, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big. So I probably would rather see Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up with the weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54.
Jones, with his vast experience, warns Crawford that facing someone like Canelo could be unlike anything he's ever dealt with. He acknowledges Crawford's undeniable talent but stresses that Canelo's size, power, and relentless style could create huge problems. Jones cautions that Crawford may find it hard to apply his usual tactics against a fighter with Canelo's ring IQ and ability to absorb shots. As Jones points out, this fight will be more than a test of skill, it's a test of survival. His warning carries weight given the level of opposition Jones faced throughout his career. Bob Arum, a legendary promoter with decades in the sport, also shares his view on the potential Canelo-Crawford fight, and his outlook is far from optimistic for Crawford.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight.
Arum doesn't mince words, confidently claiming Canelo would dominate Crawford in a matchup. While he respects Crawford's skills, Arum is adamant that Canelo is simply on another level. He admits the fight is intriguing but insists there's only one likely winner. According to Arum, Canelo's experience, power, and ability would be far too much for Crawford to manage. To Arum, the fight may draw attention, but the result seems nearly guaranteed in favor of the Mexican champion. He further expands on the massive gap in experience and power between Canelo and Crawford, emphasizing how heavily these elements could impact the outcome.
Because Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt there.
Arum explains that Canelo's level of opposition and his ability to endure punishment are unmatched, particularly compared to Crawford's usual competition. He argues that Crawford won't be able to hurt Canelo, while Canelo's devastating power could easily hurt Crawford. This difference in power is a major concern for Arum, who believes it will ultimately decide the fight. Even with Crawford's exceptional talent, Arum suggests Canelo's experience and capacity to inflict damage could become the ultimate game-changer. Keon Davis, who has sparred with both Canelo and Crawford, offers his own perspective on what might happen in this highly anticipated bout, focusing on the weight gap and each fighter's experience.
Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience, because you got Crawford got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity.
Davis points out Crawford's adjustments as he moves up to the 168-pound division, noting that his training and added weight might work in his favor. However, despite Crawford's preparation and skill, Davis leans toward Canelo because of the significant size difference. He predicts a chess match where both fighters will showcase their strategies. While Davis admires Crawford's abilities, he still sides with Canelo, believing the weight disparity and Canelo's experience at this division may tilt the fight in the Mexican star's favor. Davis clearly expects a competitive bout but feels Canelo's natural advantages will prevail. Having sparred both men, Keon Davis continues by discussing the uphill battle Crawford faces in jumping to 168 pounds to fight someone as natural at the weight as Canelo.
It's naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Davis explains how Canelo's natural ease at 168 pounds creates a serious obstacle for Crawford, who's coming up from lighter weight classes. The jump is especially tough after years competing in lower divisions, making it difficult for Crawford to match someone who's consistently excelled at 168. Still, Davis leaves a glimmer of hope, saying if anyone can defy the odds, it's Crawford. His skill level is world-class, and if he somehow overcomes the size disadvantage, it would be a monumental feat, but as Davis admits, that's no simple task against Canelo. Roy Jones Jr., a legend who's fought some of boxing's all-time greats, weighs in on the crucial factors that could decide Canelo versus Crawford. He stated, "The weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight." Jones stresses that the real key isn't the pounds but Canelo's strategy. If he fights the way he should, it could be dominant. But his in-ring decisions will determine the result. Continuing his breakdown, Jones explores different fight scenarios. He said, if Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, he wins the fight. If he comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight. Jones makes it clear the outcome depends on Canelo's mindset and tactics. If he plays to his strengths and controls the tempo, Canelo will likely have the edge. But if he makes errors or lets Crawford dictate, that's when Crawford can seize his moment. To Jones, this fight will be won not only by skill but by who can impose their will and execute their game plan best. It's a true test of strategy, and Jones believes it's Canelo's fight to lose. The Canelo vs. Crawford clash has all the makings of a classic, featuring two of boxing's most determined and skilled fighters. Canelo brings immense power, experience, and a track record of conquering elite opponents. Crawford is known for his intelligence, speed, and adaptability. As experts like Jones have said, strategy will decide this bout. If Canelo sticks to his strengths and avoids mistakes, he likely wins. But if he strays, Crawford could exploit openings and pull off an upset. This is the ultimate test for Crawford, stepping up in weight to face someone with Canelo's power and size. While weight could matter, as many analysts note, it's more about who executes their plan when it counts. What's your take? Can Crawford's speed and tactics overcome Canelo's experience and power? Can Canelo stay in control and avoid critical mistakes? Who has the mental edge heading into this high-stakes showdown? And most importantly, can Crawford shock the world and prove his greatness by beating a fighter like Canelo? Share your thoughts below. Who do you see emerging victorious? Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dive breakdowns. The countdown to this blockbuster fight is officially underway, and we'll be covering every twist and turn right up to the opening bell. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.